With the biggest news, the biggest headline, the last 5 days.
Thanks indeed, Christine. Thanks indeed, viewers. Our focus remains on the violence in Bengal. How does a town continue to burn at the hands of a riotous mob when the state administration is supposed to have clamped Section 144, which prevents a gathering of people? It's a fundamental question. Everyone seems to know, including the Chief Minister, where the next bit of violence is going to erupt. And yet it does, with monotonous predictability. Where's the police force? And that's what seems, viewers, to have happened in a town in Hooghly, which has been seeing clashes since April 2. Overnight, despite many warnings, and as I said, prohibitory orders, there were flash crashes near railway tracks. Two groups took on each other, just about 500 to 600 meters away from the original site of a conflagration. Viewers, we are being told that Mamata Banerjee has ensured that not even a crow flies into the epicenter. Yet, viewers, people amass bottles and other crude weapons to not just hurl at each other, but to destroy public property. Someone, somewhere, is either failing, or, viewers, most importantly, they're allowing Bengal, or at least this pocket of Bengal, to burn. Here's a ground report from this area, which is seen, as I told you, viewers, violence now for the last 48 to 72 hours. Look at this.
Times Now is reporting from the same railway gate, which is at Rishra in Hooghly district, one that had erupted in mindless violence late on Monday evening. The Monday violence was a follow-up to a Sunday's instance of violence, which started with the Ram Navami Shobha Yatra that had allegedly come under the attack of stone pelting. There are telltale signs of the violence that had gripped here. The black charred remnants of the anger, of the animosity, acrimony is still very much here, palpable on the ground here at Rishra. Is the very spot where mayhem had unleashed itself and the ugly head of violence had raised itself. And over here you can see a lot of things. Look here. These are glass bottles broken, and they are lying on the railway tracks. Look here, the way glass shards are there all over. It seems like bottles hurled at people, and these bottles raise a billion-dollar question. Where did they come from? These are all alcohol bottles. Where did they come from? How did they come here, and who brought them here? Whether there was a definite design, if yes, who are the culprits?
पहले कुछ नहीं हुआ, ये पहला मर्तबा हुआ है। ये हम लोग यहाँ बैठकर दुकान खोलते रहे, जा रहे रेले, फिर उधर हंगामा हुआ, सब भागा भगदौड़ हुआ। सब इधर का कहाँ का आदमी था, यहाँ का कोई नहीं था, सब बाहर का था, सब जलात फलात तोड़ ताड़ दिया, भेम सब आग लगा दिया।
इतना बड़ा हम लोग हुए, इसी जगह खेले कूदे रहे, हमारे बाबूजी भी थे इसी जगह, और हम जो है ऐसा माहौल नहीं देखे थे। अभी ये अचानक क्यों हो गया, ये लोग कुछ बाहर के लोग आए, इसको सेस्टेटेड किए।
वो एक मिली जुली साजिश का हिसाब लग रहा है और कोई बात नहीं।
क्योंकि ये जो एरिया है यहाँ
बहुत शांत है, बहुत, हम लोग हिंदू मुसलमान सब मिलजुल के रहते हैं।
Even as the violence that started on Thursday last week shows no signs of dying down in Bengal, both Hooghly and Howrah have seen, as I told you, repeat incidents of violence, and now political blame game has erupted over who is fueling the fires. Mamata Banerjee today came out and straight away pointed fingers at the BJP. Watch this.
আমি দেখলাম কালকে বিজেপির একজন নেতা বলেছেন हम क्षमता में आने से হাফ উল্টো করকে इसको পিটাएगा। আমি তাদের একটু জিজ্ঞেস করি সত্যি করবেন তো? তাহলে আজ করছেন না কেন? দাঙ্গা তো করছে বিজেপি, দাঙ্গা তো করছে বজরং দল, দাঙ্গা তো করছে আপনার সমস্ত বিজেপির লোকেরা, তারা গিয়ে এলাকায় এলাকায় দাঙ্গা করছে। কেন তাদের উল্টে পেটাচ্ছেন না? যেটা নিজেকে বলছেন চ্যারিটি বিগিনস অ্যাট হোম। ধর্মের নামে দাঙ্গা, যারা ধর্মের নামে ধর্মের বদনাম করে যারা দাঙ্গা করে লোক মারছেন, রক্ত ঝরাচ্ছেন, তারা জেনে রাখুন আগামী দিন বড়ই ভয়ঙ্কর। আমি নজর রাখছি কারা বাইরে থেকে আসছে, কারা ইন্ধন যোগাচ্ছে। যতই আপনার বন্ধু থাক দিল্লিতে।
Well, the point is, viewers, that Mamata Banerjee keeps threatening all these individuals, saying that, watch out, I'm coming after you, but somehow some people are escaping the net. The TMC and BJP are now both claiming that the violence was sponsored by individuals drafted into Hooghly and Howrah by the other side. After a man called Sumit Shaw, who the TMC claims was seen wielding a firearm during a rally, was arrested from Bihar, the TMC gunned for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Listen to this.
अखिल भारतीय तृणमूल कांग्रेस के साधारण संपादक श्री अभिषेक बनर्जी उसी दिन उन्होंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की और उन्होंने इन वीडियो को दिखाया जिसमें दिखता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के इस कार्यकर्ता के हाथ में बंदूक है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी कहने लगी कि ये वीडियो फेक है। आज हम क्या देख रहे हैं कि हावड़ा पुलिस द्वारा अरेस्ट हुए हैं सुमित साव। कौन है वो? भाजपा के कार्यकर्ता हैं जिसके हाथों में वो बंदूक थी। आज सुमित साव ने अपना बयान दिया है और अपने अपराध को स्वीकार किया है।
Of course, the BJP comes out and says that it has no links to this individual, and then it hits back with a set of pictures of their own, showing another man allegedly seen at several Shobha Yatras where clashes took place. BJP then asked if Mamata Banerjee would arrest the man who they allege is Kalyan Banerjee's aide, and put state administration in the dock. Watch this, viewers. Response.
हर जगह में रामनवमी के जुलूस को लेकर उसके ऊपर पथराव, बॉम्बिंग की घटना घटी है और बंगाल पूरी तरीके से अशांत हो चुका है। मुख्यमंत्री ममता बनर्जी के हाथ से पूरा कंट्रोल चला गया है। हुलीगन्स के हाथ में बंगाल की लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन चली गई है। इसलिए हम मां के पास आए हैं कि मां बंगाल को रक्षा करे, बंगाल में शांति विराज करे और शांति को मां फिर से कायम करे।
Viewers, for the last 2 days, BJP leaders have been stopped from visiting the violence-hit parts of Hooghly. Yesterday it was Bengal BJP chief, and today both Shukanta and Lokit Chatterjee were once again not allowed to reach the epicenter of the violence in Hooghly. The TMC government has justified the blockade on the grounds that the BJP will provoke violence if it is allowed to go back to this particular site. This is ironic. This stand that it has taken, the TMC government has taken, is ironic given that time and again the TMC in the past has actively criticized state governments for restricting the freedom of its own leaders from entering strife-torn zones. Here are a few hard facts, viewers. Let me take you into the past. In Hathras, we all know, viewers, what had happened, and that is Uttar Pradesh. But let me put it all together for you. In Bengal, on April 3rd, Mr. Majumdar, the chief of the BJP, stopped from visiting Hooghly. Kunal Ghosh of the TMC says BJP is trying to foment trouble. It's going to stir up trouble. In Uttar Pradesh, in October 2020, a TMC delegation was stopped from entering Hathras. Then Derek O'Brien of the TMC said BJP doesn't respect democracy. It doesn't want us to go into Hathras to talk to those affected because it's scared they will be exposed. This is what the TMC said. In Bengal, on April 4th, Sukanta and Lokit Chatterjee stopped at Hooghly police site, section 144 being imposed as a reason. April 22nd, TMC says fact-finding team sent to Jahangirpuri stopped. TMC says BJP is scared of truth or violence being exposed. Viewers, it goes back into the past when Mamta Banerjee was stopped from going to Nandigram. And I'm talking about more than a decade ago, 2007, viewers. She said that the left front government at that time was behaving in a dictatorial fashion, stopping a leader of the opposition from going into Nandigram to speak to the affected farmers there. At the time, there was a massive agitation. So viewers, different strokes when you are in power, different strokes for different folks when you are out of power. How does this work? The BJP has been saying that the TMC is not allowing it to enter the riot-affected areas of Hooghly because it doesn't want the truth to get out. Other politicians are also upset with Mamta Banerjee. AIMM chief Asaduddin Owaisi feels that the Mamta Banerjee administration has been caught napping at the wheel and is now using every trick in the book to distract from the chief minister's failures to maintain order and impose the writ of law across the state. Here is Owaisi.
जो वायलेंस होता है उसकी जिम्मेदारी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट पर आयद होती है, वो उनकी नाकामी है। और जो प्रोसेशन निकालते हैं उन पर भी जिम्मेदारी आयद होती है कि उनका प्रोसेशन निकाला गया, उनकी भी जिम्मेदारी होती है कि वायलेंस को ना होने दें।
ममता बनर्जी ने ये बोला है सर कि जहां से प्रोसेशन निकलता है वो मुस्लिम इलाके में नहीं जाए, और उन्होंने ये भी बात कही है कि सेंटर से लोग आए थे, 5 स्टार होटल में रुके थे और उन्होंने पूरी साजिश रची है।
तो आप क्या सो रहे थे? होटल में रेड मारना था, आप उनको उठाना था होटल से उनको। और अगर जुलूस का परमिशन जो एक रूट दिया गया था, अगर रूट से अगर कोई डाइवर्ट कर रहा है तो आप उनको रोक देते वहां पर।
Viewers, let's open this up. Let's ask some basic questions tonight. I want to begin with Sanju Verma, Advocate Varis Pathan, National Spokesperson of the AIMM, as also, of course, Anirban Banerjee, who is an analyst sympathetic to the TMC point of view. Now, Mr. Banerjee, let me begin with you first. I find it strange that a political party that believes that any chief minister that stops the opposition from going to a particular spot where there has been either communal strife or a law and order breakdown, that same party today is blocking the BJP from taking out what it believes is a peace yatra or a peace march to go and establish also the facts for itself and to provide succor to the residents of this pocket of Hooghly that has been seeing violence. Now, why the double standards? In Hathras, you wanted to go in there, you said Yogi was a bad man. He was undemocratic. And here you're doing exactly the same. So either Mamta Banerjee has become a dictator like Mr. Yogi, as you have claimed, or she is borrowing from the left handbook. Remember Nandigram, sir? You remember the tensions there? So what is happening? What is there? The BJP says you're hiding the facts. And the facts are that you have actually instigated the violence. And if not that, then you're covering up for one particular community, trying to pin the blame on the BJP and by extension members of another community. Is that what's happening, Mr. Banerjee?
Well, let me state this upfront that West Bengal was there in its present form before 2017. The Trinamool was there, the CPIM, Congress, everyone was there. The Shivpur area was there, Rishta was there. The only difference from 2017 is that the BJP put its entire weight behind the Ram Navami celebration and turned it into a political spectacle. And from 2017 onwards, every year in this time of the year, you will find the same kind of news in the news headlines, channels, papers, everywhere. Therefore, the only thing that changed from 2017 is the presence of the BJP in its most heinous form, and they have turned a religious festival into a riot-mongering festival, if I might say so. And every time they have put some of their members, their leaders, the lumpens they import from outside into these processions.
Right.
These exact scenarios repeated itself from 2017. And if the administration is taking any measure whatsoever possible to stop them, as a common person of West Bengal, as a common man, I welcome those steps.
Okay, so let me ask you two questions.
Sure.
You are blocking the BJP delegation for the same reason that the Yogi government blocked the TMC delegation in Hathras, and you called it the murder of democracy. You are blocking the BJP delegation for the same reasons that the left front government back in the day in 2007 blocked Mamta Banerjee from going into Nandigram.
No,
how is what you are doing
yes, I'll tell you.
different?
Yes, that's a false comparison because in Hathras, what happened, by no measure of anybody's imagination, TMC or for that matter Congress or other parties were responsible. In this case, for Rishra Shivpur, the BJP and its allies are directly responsible. Therefore, when BJP says
and Nandigram?
On a peace mission,
and Nandigram?
In Nandigram, it was the state police and the cadres of the then left front, the CPIM, who were against this allegation, who were behind those incidents, alleged incidents.
Okay.
There was no TMC or Congress behind those alleged incidents.
Okay. So, Mr. Banerjee, since you hold the BJP,
and now,
since you hold the BJP guilty,
they're going to hold peace rallies. That's an oxymoron.
Oxymoron.
BJP and peace is an oxymoron.
So let me ask you a straightforward question, which I have been trying to solicit answers for. And it's a very straightforward question. You say that the BJP has planned this, executed it to perfection. The Chief Minister says they are Dangabaz party, full of gangsters and communalists. How many BJP cadre have been arrested over the last 5 days? Can you name?
For Shivpur, more than 40 people have been arrested.
40 people. Are they BJP cadre? Are they BJP cadre?
Many of them are. At least
can you name 6 of them who are BJP cadre?
Yes, you can ask the police for the names and they'll give you.
No, hang on. Mr. Anirban Banerjee, you're an independent political analyst that is sympathetic to the TMC government. Surely you would have thought that R Shivshankar is going to ask you a most basic question tonight and you would have done your homework. And I'm sure tonight you would have done so. This is not one of those platform shows, as you know, where people are allowed to, and this applies also to the BJP. I also have some hard questions and Sanju Verma is used to them. But I want you to convincingly tell me, sir, give me the statistics. How many people, come on, I'm sure you just don't take a brief from, whoever it is and appear on this show. You must have done your research. You're making a very strong allegation as an independent analyst. You're saying that the BJP is guilty. I want you to tell me, it's been a significant week in Bengal. Any responsive state administration by now would have put out a list of those who are guilty and linked to the BJP.
Sir, yes, I'll tell you.
Tell me the exact numbers.
Yes, the investigation is still going on. The numbers are changing every hour. And
investigation is still going on.
Yes, of course it is.
Okay, so how, sir, are you alleging that the BJP is already guilty when the investigation is still going on by your own admission?
Yes, as I'm already telling you, from 2017 we have seen what's happening. From 2017, every time.
Do you know the record of the Bengal police? I'm being a little hard on you, sir, tonight, because there is enough whataboutery that goes around. And I'm doing so also because I have with me the able Waris Pathan, who is going to expose your administration's lack of application also. So I'm just going to ask you, Mr. Banerjee, do you know the number of occasions when the High Court, the Calcutta High Court, has taken away investigations from the law and order machinery of the state administration and given it to central agencies because you have not been able to do your job or you have been called out for not doing your job properly? So I'm asking you, sir, why should I believe a preliminary investigation by, I don't know, Joe Blows in Bengal and come to this and accept this conclusion that one side is guiltier than the other? Why should I accept it, Mr. Banerjee?
Yeah, because all the examples where the High Court, Honorable High Court, had taken away the responsibility of investigation from the state police and handed it over to the CBI, let's say for the last 3 years, just for example, you give me one single example where the CBI has actually proved their case.
Sir, is it not a fact that the High Court has come down on you on several occasions for not doing an independent probe? Yes or no? Just answer me. Yes or no?
Rahul,
yes or no? Or I will start.
They have also.
I will start pulling out.
Also. Yes,
sir,
I need to answer.
Yes or no?
The court has also reprimanded the CBI for their failure to investigate those cases in a proper manner.
Okay. Now, viewers, the High Court said when transferring the Birbhum case to the CBI, on minute examination of the case diary, we are of the opinion that the investigation as expected, keeping in view the gravity of the offence, has not been done. We are not mentioning the details of the lacuna notice in investigation and may prejudice the rights of the parties. We also find that this is one such exceptional case where requisite direction is required. Viewers, there are many such instances and I have taken you over them in the past. I'll bring you up to speed in just a few moments on those other instances. Today, a chief minister of a state has already indicted one particular party and a whole group of individuals from another community, viewers, even before the probe can get off the ground. Anirban Banerjee said, it's the BJP, they're all crooks, they're doing all the danga. And when I asked him to tell me how many people from the BJP have been arrested specifically, name them, since he comes with the facts and is making a strong allegation, he has no answers. He said the probe is in preliminary stage, yet the chief minister is convinced. How does this work? Now, one second. Let me bring in Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, there is a charge, and the charge is a serious one from Mamta Banerjee. On several occasions over the last few days, you have taken out processions without permission, or groups affiliated to you have taken out processions without permission in areas where they are not supposed to venture. Why did you do it if not to provoke violence, says Mamta Banerjee? And that's a legit question. Can you answer this with conviction?
Rahul, you know, to your very legitimate question, without beating around the bush, let me just state a couple of facts which will, as they say in Hindi, Doodh ka doodh aur pani ka pani ho jayega, about who is the perpetrator and who indeed is the victim. Because you can spin a yarn to try and control the narrative, which is being done by Mamata Banerjee to the, vilest of abilities, but that does not negate the truth. First and foremost, and very quickly, without being verbose, let me just say a couple of things. Within 24 hours of the riots occurring at Shivpur in Howrah, Mamata Banerjee's dispensation said that 200 unidentified people have had FIRs leveled against them. Within 48 hours, that is 24 hours hence, they said that out of these 200 FIRs, 37 people have actually been arrested. I have been on umpteen debates, apart from times now, on various other channels, and I asked the Trinamool spokespersons, official and unofficial, what have you, out of these 200 unidentified people, out of these 37 plus odd people who have been arrested, can you name at least 4 or 5 top BJP leaders who you accuse of making incendiary comments and fueling riots? I received zilch response. Point number 2, assuming for a moment that the BJP indeed is behind it. That is obviously a hypothetical situation. The matter is within the, premises of the Kolkata High Court, which will take a judicious decision. But if Mamata Banerjee, 72 hours prior to the Howrah riots, is on record saying, I expect violence in Howrah, in Park Circus and in Islampur, Mamata Banerjee, were you snoozing, since you have the ability to crystal gaze into the future and you predicted a riot in key areas of Bengal 72 hours before they actually happened? What stopped you from cracking down on impending rioters and having a full-fledged police machinery doing the needful in terms of maintaining law and order?
So your defense...
Rahul, please. My most important rebuttal is this. When Mamata Banerjee was aware that the situation could be tense, in this particular area in Shivpur, things have not been hunky-dory in the past, why was the police machinery not adequately equipped to handle vandalism? Because last I heard, Mamata Banerjee is not just the Chief Minister of West Bengal and a very Hindu-phobic one at that. She is also the de facto
Hang on,
Home
Sanju
Minister.
Verma. On what basis are you saying?
Home Minister.
No, on what basis are you saying that she's Hindu-phobic? This is a very, very serious allegation.
Yes, and
explain yourself. How can you say
yes,
she's Hindu-phobic?
Let me tell you that, and I'm not scared of any.
44% Hindus vote for her. 44% Hindus vote for her. How could she be a Hindu-phobe if so many Hindus vote for her?
Rahul, let me answer that. You asked a question, and anyone from the Trinamool, can feel free to lodge an FIR, file a case, because threatening people on national television and otherwise is something that they're adept at. But I'm going to speak some hard facts, and the hard fact is this: Mamata Banerjee is on record, and I have done my homework, and you can corroborate this. Mamata Banerjee has indeed said that Hindus should not go to Muslim areas during Ramzan.
No, I think she said BJP. No, I think she said BJP people should not go.
No.
No.
Rahul, you have this habit of,
No, madam, I'm not. No, I'm just asking you to stick to the facts. She said BJP
I am sticking to the facts.
Okay.
Liar.
Let me, 1 second. I'll pull out the bike.
Let me finish, Rahul. What's your problem?
Liar.
I need to step in to correct you because
you keep
blatantly
me.
lying.
Let me make my point.
Okay, go ahead, make your point. I'll correct you after that. Okay.
Yes. You can correct me, but I have something to say.
Okay.
I was in a debate on another national channel on Friday, barely a few days back. And Mamata Banerjee gave a sole interview to the anchor before the debate started. And on that particular channel, she clearly said that I have asked that Hindus should not go to Muslim areas during Ramzan. They are our brothers.
A blatant lie.
Asked her. The anchor asked her, please keep quiet. You can go.
Okay, I'll get you in. Anirban Banerjee, she never interrupted you, please.
Lying.
Okay, Mr. Banerjee, she never interrupted you. I'll lower your fade. I'm counting till 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't do that, please. She never butted in. I made the mistake of butting in when both of you were speaking. Let her finish. I never allowed you to speak over her, and I never allow her to speak over you. So let her just finish her point. She's making a point. She's on her channel. We'll have that fact checked in just a few moments. But let Sanju Verma finish. Yeah. Go ahead.
She is clearly on record saying that not only BJP, because we all know that she has no love lost for the BJP, but Hindus should not go to Muslim areas during Ramzan, otherwise it will lead to problems.
So she's picking sides. That's what you're saying. Finish speaking.
Rahul, you keep heckling. Let me finish. I'll take 20 seconds. The anchor thereafter asked me that is it true, Sanju Verma, that BJP and Hindus deliberately went to Muslim areas despite being asked not to? And I asked the anchor, which are the Muslim areas? Is Murshidabad a Muslim area? Is Howrah a Muslim area? Is Uttar Dinajpur a Muslim area? Is North 24 Pargana a Muslim area? Is South 24 Pargana a Muslim area? Is Birbhum a Muslim area? And then I told the anchor, I assume you are calling these Muslim areas because the Muslim population in these areas on an average is more than 34%. And the anchor had nothing to say. And Mamata Banerjee, obviously, by then had, finished her interview after ranting against the...
Okay, so you're saying very specifically, and there on that point I do agree with you, there are nothing called, viewers, Hindu and Muslim areas in this country. And we've been saying this for the last 2 days. There was, at one time before partition, a narrative to create a Muslim enclave, and it is Pakistan. India rejects any talk of enclaves. We are a secular country, viewers. And I want to bring in Mr. Pathan also. Mr. Banerjee, I'll just bring you in. I'm also fact-checking this claim because I don't want to get sued by another anchor, another channel. So we are looking at that. But very quickly, I want to bring in Mr. Varis Pathan. There is also the senior fellow of the IPCS, Mr. Mitra, here with us, and Mr. Das, Shadabrata Das. Now, 1 second. Mr. Pathan, Mr. Owaisi has come in and said today that Mamata Banerjee is at fault. Now, at a time when you're building up to the 2024 elections, the general elections, many people are saying, from the TMC specifically, that you are the B side of the BJP. You're deliberately saying all these things because you want to break down opposition unity. You should be standing with the TMC to break down the BJP. Is that what is happening? I'm asking you this. Why does Mr. Owaisi put Mamta Banerjee in the dock?
Well, Rahul, it is the responsibility of the state government to ensure that peace is maintained, law and order is maintained. But what we see in the country today is whether it is Bengal, whether it is Bihar or whether it is Karnataka, the respective state governments of BJP, Mamta Banerjee, Tejasvi and Nitish have totally failed in maintaining the law and order situation. That is why the violence has escalated. In Bengal, if you go to see that if the procession was not given permission to go from a particular place, and if they went from that place, what prevented the Mamta government to stop that procession from entering into this place? And see what happened. They go there, stop there before the mosque. They start playing huge DJ music. They start shouting JSR. They go on carrying a revolver in their hands, swords in their hands, try to put a flag on the mosque, and they try to provoke. And in that provocation, what happens? The other party comes there and the violence erupts. So it is the responsibility of the state government to ensure that this kind of things does not happen. Why no preventive measures were taken by the Mamta government? Secondly, here I would also like to bring into a notice to the audience that what happened in Bihar, Nitish and Tejasvi, they are ruling the Bihar state. Nitish comes from Nalanda. It is his home turf. In Nalanda, he very well knew that in 2016, a similar violence had erupted. There, a mob goes there and a 100-year-old Madrasa, Azizia, is totally burned by them. What was the police doing? What was Nitish doing? Why can't he stop that? Why no efforts were made to ensure that adequate police are stationed there to see that this kind of things does not happen? But no, they were slipping. They are total failure. There is a failure of the respective state governments which has led this to such kind of violence in the state. And what is Nitish doing now? Going for iftar. And he should have gone to the madrasa. You should have gone to the Muslim shops which were burned. Go to the Muslim houses which were burned. Give them compensation. Why no compensation? Merely talk, nothing. And yesterday Amit Shah said, जो भी दंगा में उल्टा करेगा काम, हम उसको उल्टा लटका के मारेंगे. Let me remind Mr. Shah that in Karnataka, that is your government, Idris Pasha is just merely was picked up on the suspicion of cows, this cattle trade, mob lynched, killed. What have you done to the culprits? Will you stake them? Ulta latka ke marenge unko? So these are just brave words. Just I would tell you, Rahul, the BJP, the TMC and the Nitish and Tejasvi's government has totally failed in maintaining the law and order situation in our country, and that is why this mass scale violence has taken place.
Are you saying that
had
Mr.
their
Owaisi
intention to stop,
no, are
they
you
would
saying
have stopped, like we did in Maharashtra, in Shambhaji Nagar.
No, one second.
Our MP...
Sir, please, are you saying that Mr. Owaisi's MIM is covered in greater glory? Sorry. I mean, you know, your boss.
Yes.
Well, 1 second.
Yes, I would say that.
1 second. Your
I would
boss.
give an example
no,
to you, Rahul.
No, don't give me. I'll give you the example.
You can stop the riots.
I'll give you the example. I'll give you the example. I'll give you an example of a member of parliament from your party. Yes. A member of parliament from your party, sir. A member of parliament from your party who a year and a half ago sat in judgment of Nupur Sharma, and he says to a whole group of cheering, lustily cheering supporters, excuse me, don't talk over me. Don't talk over me, sir. That's not fair. No, that's not fair. Point. Now you're Pathan. No, Varis Pathan Saab, please don't speak over me, please. I'm just making a point here. I'm making an intervention. This gentleman, this member of parliament, comes out and says, hang Nupur Sharma from here in Aurangabad, this Chorha. And everyone dances and claps and hoots. That is invoking communal violence. I'll also tell you, your boss said, Mr. Owaisi, while I've always opposed PFI's approach and supported democratic approach, this ban on PFI cannot be supported. Sir, a group accused of terror, whose cadre has joined the ISIS, why? Why should they not be banned? And you are telling me that you are some...
Just give me 10 seconds, Rahul. Very good question. Now you have referred to a member of parliament from our party, Imtiaz Jalil. Let me tell you, the same member of parliament, 3 days prior, he was instrumental in stopping riots in Aurangabad. Several people,
please,
the rioters,
that is also a claim. That is a claim that is contested, seriously contested. That is a claim that is seriously contested. He's the MP from that area, and clashes happen. What was he doing? Sleeping.
And I want to respond to that.
Yes. 1 second. Let me bring in Abhijit Iyer. 1 second. One quick response from Sanju Verma and Mr. Mitra Iyer.
He stood there in the temple.
No, sir, please. He might have done whatever.
From there.
Sitting in temples and all that doesn't cut much ice, sir. That is all virtue signaling. He should have been able to stop all that, prevent all of that. That didn't happen. You know what happened. I don't want to go down that route. That's not the debate that we are having today about the great actions of your great MP. I am just talking to Sanju Verma. Very quickly, you want to make a point and I want to bring in Mr. Iyer right after that. And Chittapratta Das. Yes.
Thank you, Rahul. In response to what Varis Pathan said, I think you made a very pertinent point, Rahul, when you said that the Aurangabad, Aka Sambhaji Nagar MP, Imtiaz Jalil clearly said that Nupur Sharma ko isi charahe par phansi deni chahiye. She should be hanged at this public square. Be that as it may, after the riots in Sambhaji Nagar, I went specifically to check the timeline of Asaduddin Owaisi and Imtiaz Jalil. Imtiaz Jalil had put out a video where he very proudly says कि जो भी दंगे हुए वो मंदिर के नहीं अंदर हुए, वो बाहर रास्ते पर हुए, सड़क पर हुए. There was vandalization of the saffron gate outside the temple. There was vandalization of police vehicles. But since nothing happened inside the temple, everything is hunky-dory, sab changasi, completely abdicating accountability and responsibility.
Okay, but Ms. Verma, you also forget. Good, okay.
Who has an opinion on everything under the sun.
Yeah, let's not distract and divert. Let not Mr. Pathan distract and divert. 1 second, we are sticking to Bengal. Remember, viewers, no, 1 second, Mr. Pathan.
We have condemned all type of acts, such kind of things we have been condemning.
Varis Saab, should I take you back to February 2020? Should I take you back to February 2020? Don't let me open my mouth.
The entire Maharashtra from burning.
Okay, Mr. Pathan.
Saved the entire Maharashtra from burning, Rahul. Let me tell you that.
Can you please?
Hallucinating.
1 second. Ms. Verma and Mr. Pathan.
He risked his life in saving that place.
Wonderful, wonderful. You've done everything. Let me, viewers, very quickly, since we are on the subject, point out what Mr. Varis Pathan had said. I'll have to lower your fader, Varis Bhai. Please don't do this. Listen. Now, let me very quickly tell you about how committed Varis Pathan is to communal harmony. Varis Pathan in February 2020, and by the way, he apologized for these remarks, viewers. He said, the time has now come for us to unite and achieve freedom. Remember, we are 15 crores. But can dominate over 100 crores. Mr. Pathan said this while addressing an anti-CA rally. They tell us that we have kept our women in the front. Only the lionesses have come out and you are already sweating. You can understand what would happen if all of us come together.
Rahul. You have leveled an allegation against me. Now allow me to rebut. Allow me to rebut for 10 seconds, Rahul. It was I was in Gulbarga. The stage was, everybody was sitting there, the Christians, the Hindus, our Hindu brothers, everybody. It was a CAA NRC rally. And I said those who are supporting the CAA are very few and those who are against it are so. And you took it as Hindu and as Muslims. Did I mention a name of Hindu and Muslim? No. But the media wanted to create a halabola out of it. And you did it. I clarified it before the entire nation that very time that no, it was not. I did not meant that.
That's your point of view.
I am a law-abiding citizen. I am an advocate. I am a
That's your point of view.
ex-MLA. I would never resort to violence or to provoke such kind of statement.
Okay, that's your point of view. Let me bring in Mr. Mitra Iyer. He's been waiting patiently.
Why don't you stop them?
I just want to say that at that time, Mr. Pathan also apologized. He said, I had no intentions to hurt the sentiments of any community. My remarks were not anti-Hindu. I hereby withdraw my statement. He withdrew his statement, viewers. Mr. Iyer, what do you see is the real issue here? Why is the BJP, for example, not being allowed to go into this particular area? Is there something to hide? Are there no-go areas for processionists and for politicians? Can there be, and what does that tell you?
Rahul, thanks for having me on. Now, you tell me statistically, which is the community that pelts? Because this is purely an exercise in extrapolating past statistics. The processions of another community. I think there's a very clear record of this across the board. Second, what do your own visuals that you're playing out tell you? Who's pelting whom? Somebody comes out of the street, is it automatically a riot? But somebody's pelting stones, who is it? I think there's enough videographic evidence today in this day and age when everybody has a mobile phone. It's very easy to tell who's who. Right? Of the arrested people that Anirban was referring to, I really want to know what the religious breakdown there is. Now, tell me something. There was also the case where, he said how Hathras was different and how Nandigram was different. In both cases, in Nandigram, the ruling CPIM at that time was involved. In Hathras, the ruling BJP was involved. Here, it's the ruling TMC involved. So the parallels there are exactly the same. So you need somebody from the opposition. If their logic as far as Hathras, that you need somebody from the opposition going in to verify facts holds there, then it certainly holds here that the BJP should be allowed in to see what is happening. Because let's not forget, I mean, you saw this, Rahul, I saw this, Sanju saw this after the BJP election defeat during the assembly elections. There was entirely one-sided election violence. We saw that man whose dogs were killed, butchered, burned to death, and then he was stabbed and burned to death. We saw all of that on video. Who exactly has the monopoly of violence in Bengal? Who has the entire strength of the people and the brute force strength in Bengal?
Okay.
Are you kidding me? A party that couldn't defend itself after the 2020 election law or whatever, 2021, whenever it was, election laws, is suddenly now capable of doing all of this.
Okay, so let me bring in Mr. Shitoprato Das. Now, I remember in the Delhi violence, there was a narrative that this was a pogrom against one community, and look, members of the other community, the majority community, are not being arrested. Now, Mr. Das, there are enough visuals to tell us that there have been arrests, that there has been pelting from the other side also. Mr. Das, do you not believe that the test of sanctity for those upholding the law will be if the Mamta administration will arrest an equal number, if not more, of the other community as those that are already arrested? Mr. Anirban Banerjee is reeling off fact after fact. I just wanted to ask him one. I was tempted to ask him this question. In those arrested, how many Hindus, and I didn't want to make these statistics, viewers, about, religion, etc., etc. I hate to. But how many Muslims and how many Hindus? What's the proportion? Because that is what was thrown at everybody at the center here in Delhi. So, Mr. Das, can you tell me, there have been a significant number of arrests. What's the breakup?
Thank you that you have brought up the number thing and how many people were arrested. First, I would like to ask you a few questions. That
don't ask me.
Why?
I don't know anything.
Why?
I don't claim to know anything. I don't know anything.
First,
I want you to answer me, Mr. Das. This is a conversation we are having with you. I want to ask you specifically this. A, how many people have been arrested from the BJP cadre to substantiate the claim that the BJP is solely responsible for this? Number one. Number two, why should we not apply the proportionality principle to the arrests as was applied in Delhi to what is happening in Bengal? Mr. Das, two specific questions. If you have the answers, give them. If you don't waste my time.
Please tell me one thing. Why? Please tell me one thing. Why we have found bike with Jharkhand number plate from the place of riot? Why we are getting people from Bihar and Jharkhand from the riot place? Just now, a person told that BJP does not have the numbers.
Mr. Das,
BJP does not have the numbers to create something
BJP
like this.
Also has
we
put
all
out
know
photos,
BJP does
and
not
I
have
want
the
you to
numbers
see
to
those
create
photos.
like this.
They're on the screens.
We
Why
would
are you
like
silent
to know.
about? No, one second.
We would like
Mr.
to know
Das.
why people from outside, why we are getting people from Bihar and Jharkhand in the rice place.
Okay.
Have they come here
Okay.
for
Who am I to
tourist
believe?
purposes?
Viewers?
Have they come here just for the sake of Ram Navami?
Okay.
You
Mr.
have brought
Das,
people from Jharkhand.
why can't
You
they
have
come
brought
for
people
Ram
from
Navami?
Bihar.
Why can't they
You
come
have
from
brought
Ram
people
Navami
from
when
there.
they... No, why
Just
can't
for the
anyone
Ram
in India...
Navami.
Hang on. Okay, lower his speed. I'm not going to have someone yelling perpetually. The basic point is, viewers, even if one Indian decides to go to Bengal, go to a pocket of Bengal to celebrate Ram Navami, does he have no right to do that?
Exactly.
I mean, that's a bizarre logic. And then we are constantly being told that X is guilty. And when I'm asking for the breakdown of the arrests, I'm not being given the facts. Neither has the state government put it out. And then we have Mr. Das who says, how come a person has come and he has been seen in this particular rally, he's from Jharkhand, he's carrying a gun, etc., etc. First of all, why didn't the police arrest him on the spot? Number one. Number two, most importantly, viewers, the BJP has also put out photographs of a person in a Ram Navami rally at several points who is supposedly close to a very close and top leader of the TMC, Anirban Banerjee. So now, viewers, it's a claim versus claim. The police in Bengal, and let me just take you through this. And this is very important. In Delhi, viewers, look at the proportionality. In Delhi, February 2022, the arrests were made and a report was put out. 2, 4, 5, 6 people were arrested. Police filed charge sheets in nearly 52% of the cases. Against 1,610 arrested persons, 798 were Hindus and 812 were Muslims. Here, viewers, by his own admission, Anirban Banerjee says several people have been arrested. I can't tell you exactly how many are BJP people, but they're guilty. And we don't even know, viewers, despite the visuals, despite people from another community pelting stones at the Ram Navami Yatras, despite all of that, how many people from the other community have been arrested? These are basic facts. They should be out. No one is asking those questions. No Lutyens, free speech advocate, no Lutyens media, no Lutyens human rights activists asking those questions, viewers. And that says a lot. Their silence speaks volumes. And I've already told you, viewers, that we have had examples of the state police being admonished in Bengal and cases taken. Bharu Sheikh murder in Boktui, which was related to the Birbhum case, transferred. Tapan Kandu murder case, he was a Congress councillor, transferred. Tapan Datta murder case, he was a Trinamool Congress member who was killed, transferred. Hansakoli gang rape case, transferred. Teachers recruitment scam is being investigated by both CBI and the ED. There are umpteen examples, viewers. We really need a serious investigation into this. Political rhetoric spun by people like Mr. Das and others is not going to solve the issue. In fact, viewers, they are perhaps the most guilty of not giving you the facts and creating dissension in society. That's worrying. Mr. Das, I asked you these questions, you didn't answer. You went on some complete rant. Doesn't matter. We'll move on, viewers, tonight. We'll move on.